Good morning. Now, it's a medical condition sometimes described as the most painful in the world. The first ever fast track for people who have cluster headaches opens today, fast track clinic at Guy's and St Thomas's Hospital in London, which is a fine hospital. Now, we've had a huge response to your call about cluster headaches last year. The cluster bit means the headaches come in groups, in waves of attacks that can last for weeks or months. Garret has been getting cluster headaches for 40 years and they've been chronic with multiple daily attacks for the past 16 years. Hi, Karen.
Hi there.
How are you this morning, and when did this hit you last?
Last attack was about an hour and a half ago, so yeah, not good.
Right, have you come through it, or is it still you just have the remnants of it, the vestiges of it?
I always have the sort of remnants of it because I get so many. I have problems with word recall and things, so you'll have to bear with me on that one.
Absolutely no problem at all. Tell people who don't know what this condition is like to live with, and how many. You just had an attack an hour ago, which you're still feeling. How many do you get a day?
I can get anything up to 15. They last anything from 45 minutes to 3 hours. Some days they are literally constant. One will stop and the next will start. The only medication I can use at the moment to relieve these is high flow oxygen. I've had to actually buy a device because the device that I use, the demand valve, is not available on the NHS at the moment. That cost me nearly £300. And with that, I can actually stop an attack in about 15 to 20 minutes most of the time. Sometimes I can't.
We're not talking ibuprofen or paracetamol.
We are not
talking
ibuprofen.
way beyond that. Well, you were diagnosed. Sorry?
The pain is worse than childbirth. I have 4 children, so I know the pain is much, much worse than childbirth.
What do you do when it's at its height?
I'm actually not aware of anything around me. I lose all perception of the world around me. All I can feel is the pain, and people have been known to smack their heads against walls, hit themselves, just trying to get rid of the pain. It's horrendous. It's horrendous.
You were only diagnosed 4 years ago. Before that, you must have been wondering what the hell's going on. Do I have a brain tumor? What's happening to me?
Absolutely. I mean, I was referred to 2 different neurologists, and both of them told me I had migraine, which was a misdiagnosis. I do actually also suffer from migraine. There's a very big difference. Migraine's horrendous. You see people sort of type on social media, "Oh, I have such a migraine." Unfortunately, I think if you can manage to type on social media, you do not have a migraine. They are much more horrendous than that would allow. Cluster headache is at least 10 times more painful than migraine.
Do you have days completely clear, weeks completely clear?
Never. Not in 16 years.
Is it every day?
It is every day for me, yes. I am chronic. Some people do have them in episodes where they maybe last for 6, 8, 12 weeks, and then they may have a break for 2 or 3 months, sometimes a year. But I get them every single day of my life.
What about your life? What about just, being with friends? Do you work?
I'm not able to work anymore. Up until about 5 years ago, I only used to have maybe 4 attacks a day, and I did manage to still carry on working then. But now I can't work. It's impossible.
What are the pleasures of life, the joys of life for you?
My children. I love my children and my little granddaughter. My husband is amazing. He's so supportive. We met 5 years ago, and he actually fought to help me get diagnosed with the help of Ouch UK, the organisation for the understanding of cluster headache, who are amazing. If it weren't for them, I probably would have given up by now. I did actually attempt suicide before I was diagnosed, and these headaches are also known as suicide headache.
Yes. I suppose diagnosis at least explains something. So
it does, yeah.
How will this, gosh, Karen, it's so important talking to you and powerful hearing from you. How will this clinic help you?
Well, when I was first my GP suspected I had cluster headache. It took me 18 months to be referred to see a headache specialist neurologist. That's how long the waiting list was. This new clinic is saying that the wait is going to be a week or so, maybe 2 weeks, before seeing a headache specialist neurologist. That is amazing. That gives people hope. And for myself, if my symptoms worsen, I can be seen in that time as well, rather than having to wait 6 or 8 weeks for another appointment. It's going to make a huge difference. It could actually save a lot of lives.
How much research is going into this at the moment? Is the pharmaceutical establishment, the medical establishment, the scientific establishment, are they trying to make inroads here?
There are some new studies, some at King's Hospital and some at St Guy's and St Thomas's. The funding is not great. Unfortunately, the NHS see the word headache and they think just a headache, and not enough funding is given. There's not enough awareness. Most GPs have never even heard of cluster headaches, so people don't get diagnosed quickly enough. It takes an average of 6 years for people to get a diagnosis, even now. So it's raising awareness, getting the word out there, and then we might get more funding for more research.
Well, you've certainly got the word out there this morning. Thank you, Karen Garret.
Thank you.
Who's been getting cluster headaches for 40 years.